What's up, it's your girl Nicole, aka Lil MCK. Too busy being an icon and shit.
I am just an icon living. I am just an icon living. Icon living. I am just an icon living. I am just an icon.
So hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, what is up? It's your girl Nicole, aka Lil NCK, and I hope you're all doing well today. I've been getting a lot of requests to do more story times because you guys seem to like my story times. And one of the reasons why I put it off for so long is because my story times are quite messy. I've been involved in a lot of messy situations, and to tell these stories to me is nothing, but of course I have to respect the people that are in the stories. I'm not trying to tell a story that I want to tell and then by the time I post it, within 20 seconds I'm getting a hefty ass paragraph as to why I chose to publicize the story. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's a bit of a sticky one for me to tell stories, but I will tell the ones that I can, and yeah, if I can tell you I can, if I can't I can't. But yeah, let's just get into the video. So this story time is about the time that I experienced a GTA drive-by in real life. This guy pulled up on me, the drive-by on me in real life. Bit of a mad one. This is going to be quite a long video, so if you like long videos and stuff like this, then make sure you grab your tea, grab your snacks, and yeah. And also, if you're new to my channel, make sure you guys are subscribed and click the like button if you like it, and comment down below if you have anything to say. It all started in September last year, last academic year. We're going to give these characters, these special characters, some names, shall we? We're going to call the girl Sondra. We're going to call the guy Ben. So Ben and Sondra, these are the two special characters in my story time. Okay, okie doke. So basically, a little rundown history. When I first started uni in September, not the one that just went, but the one before, because I'm in third year if you didn't know, me and Ben were next door neighbours. We knew each other because we were next door neighbours. We were kind of close, not really, but we knew each other. We would speak to each other now and then, go over to his house, he would come over to mine, his friend would come over to mine, go over to his. Like, we were just like really cool neighbours, we chilled, we vibed, everything was good, you know what I'm saying? And I always had a crush on Ben, and Ben always had a crush on me, but we just never did anything about it because we felt like, I don't know where your head's at and you don't know where my head's at, and I don't want to assume and you don't want to assume, so let's just keep it as a physical attraction type thing. Moving on. Last year September, so my second year of university, I'm in freshers now. I'm in the club, I'm in freshers. Don't really want to be there, but I'm there. My girls aren't there either because I was in uni a lot earlier than they were, primarily because of the fact that I was a member of the ACS and I had to be there as part of the committee to help them and stuff like that, and part of my role was to accompany them during freshers, so I didn't want to be there but I was there for them. Anyway, as I'm in the club, I'm not really enjoying myself too tough. Like I said, my friends weren't there, so I couldn't really turn up the way that I wanted to. In comes Ben. Ben walks in and he sees me straight away, pulls me to the side, we start talking now, laughing, joking, he's giving me a hug, being a little bit intimate, not too much, like we're not lipsing, nothing like that, but just, you know, them little squeezy hugs, and I'm just laughing, whatever. He goes off, like he's basically going in and out, coming to me, going away, coming to me, going away, and I'm still in the same location each time he's there because I'm not enjoying myself. After a while I decide to sit down, comes up to me and we start talking properly. He starts talking about how he's not with his girl no more. So when he said, and this is a vital part, this conversation is a vital conversation, so make sure you guys are listening, yeah? He tells me he broke up with his girl, so that's me thinking, I didn't even know you had a girl. Like we're close but not that close, but I never knew you had a girl. But hey ho, it's none of my business, it's not for you to tell me that. He was like, yeah, I'm with her for quite some time but we broke up, not really with her anymore. So I was like, oh, do I know the girl? Because I know everybody in his year. So I was like, oh, do I know her? And he was like, I don't think so. So I was like, try me. And he was like, I don't think you do. And he wasn't trying to tell me either, just in case I did know her, but it was fine. I didn't dig too deep because it's not really any of my business, and I don't really care, do you know what I mean? Like, it's not really my business. And at the time I was still dealing with the person that I was dealing with. So then the night goes on, he drops me home, everything's cool, don't do anything, just gives me a hug, very respectful, and goes home. Later on down the line, when it got to like October time, I got a job at Nike, and one of the girls that was working there was called Sondra. So as I get the job at night, Sondra comes up to me and the first thing she says to me is, what's new? So I'm just looking at her like, what do you mean what's new? Like, I don't even know you and you're here asking me what's new. Like, and she's like, what's new with you in your life? I know I just met you, but like, what's new? So I'm just like, nothing much really. Uni with the same guy. Yeah, same old, same old. Like, I'm not really trying to give her too much information because I don't know you like that. Like, I don't actually know you at all. I just got the job with you. And so I asked her the same thing, like, okay, so what's new with you? And she's like, got the job with you, obviously. Chuckling. Yeah, I'm with my man as well, but he's trash. So I'm just thinking, oh no, you're not about to involve me in this. I'm not trying to be involved in this kind of conversation about you telling me about your man. But she's going on and on talking about how he's trash. So I was like, okay, how is he trash? Like, you're trying to tell me now, like you're trying to tell me, so I'll listen. Why is he trash? And she was like, oh, because like he'd always arrange to do things with me and then never show up, or he'd tell me he wants to do something and then he wouldn't do it, and we just argue all the time and this. So I was like, oh, are you happy in your relationship? And she was like, yeah, but I know it could be better, like something along those lines. And I was like, well, if you're not happy, like, you know what to do, leave. It's easier said than done, but if you're not happy, you can actually leave. Like, no one's forcing you to stay, kind of thing. Like, you deserve better than that. If the guy you're seeing, and this is a little bit of advice to you, if the guy you're seeing doesn't make time for you and you feel like you're worth more, then don't feel like you're forced to stay with him. Like, you can actually leave and find someone better who will treat you the way you deserve to be treated, you know? If it's not working, don't force it. Like, it's actually not by force. She's like, yeah, thanks for the advice, da 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 da. So we start talking, start working. I don't get close with her, but you know, we're just having our little chitter chat out here and there. Weeks go by, still talking to the girl because we work together. She's still telling me about her man. Like, every time I work with her, she's telling me about her man, and each time she's telling me about him, she's revealing more things about him. It's like an onion that the layers are, you know, I'm starting to get closer and closer and closer to the core. So the more she's talking about him, the more I can't help but think, who is she talking about? Do I know him? So then I start asking questions like, oh, do I know him? She's like, oh, probably, he's always about. I'm like, okay, what's his friendship group saying? And she was like, oh, they trap. So I'm like, oh, okay, I know a lot of people that trap. Okay, cool. Like, I'm not really trying to go too deep with the questions, but I'm asking enough of the right, like, this is a little thing. If you're trying to find out something about someone, you don't need to ask a ton of questions. Like, you don't need to be asking 15 questions to get one answer. All it takes is 5 of the right questions and you'll get the answer. So I'm just like, okay, cool, he traps. So I guessed the person in my head, Ben. I guessed him because basically what she was saying added up and it linked back to him, traced back to him. So I guessed it, but I didn't tell her that I guessed it. I was just looking at her like, I know, now I know. Eventually she reveals the name. So I was like, oh, I know who he is. I was like, okay. Okay. And she was like, yeah, I wasn't trying to say in case you didn't know. I was like, no, I know him. Me and him are kind of close. And she was like, oh, how close? And I'm like, well, not like that, but her attitude changed. Like, she was like, like, her attitude just changed completely. She stops telling me about her man frequently anyway. Like, she doesn't bring him up as often. And I bump into her man like maybe like a week after near my area where I live, and we're just talking and I'm just looking at him like, okay, I know who your girl is. So he starts bringing her up and I was like, is it Sondra? And he was like, yeah, I work with her basically. And he was like, oh, what is she saying about me? And I was like, oh, it's not really for me to say, but like, it's none of my business. I'm not trying to get involved. Like, I'm actually not involved in this. But she didn't really sound too happy when she mentioned your name. Like, I think you should talk to her. And he was like, there's nothing to talk about, we've broken up. So I'm just thinking, damn, like, that's not what she was saying. Like, she's telling me y'all are on a break, but if you're telling me you've broken up, then there's definitely miscommunication somewhere. Because, and he's like, no, we've broken up, I don't want anything to do with her anymore. Go to work the next day, everything's cool. Then one night I get a phone call from him, a FaceTime call to be exact, and he's just calling me. Now, I didn't think anything of it at first. You guys might be thinking, oh Nicole, you should have known. I didn't think about it at first because, like I said, we were close when I was in first year. He always used to call me, always used to see him. So when he started calling me again, I didn't really think anything of it. Like, I wasn't deep in it too much because in my head, that's what you've always done. Like, I wouldn't know. Like, if you're my friend, I wouldn't think that you would want to use me. Do you know what I mean? I would hope that you wouldn't want to use me anyway. So he's calling me, talking about how he hasn't had food, whatever, how shops are closed, he's starving. And like, at this point it was too late to even order takeaway. And I meal prep, so I made too much food, and me being small, I've already dished out what I'm gonna eat. The rest of it will go to waste. Because like, if you want, like, you can come through and I can give you some in a container to like take home, whatever. I don't really care, like, do what you want with it, but I just don't want all of this. So he comes quick boy, like Speedy Gonzalez. He is quick, and give him the food, everything's cool, he's eating, enjoying. I go to the bathroom, do my skincare routine, all that kind of stuff, and I find this guy in my bed. Like, he's really comfortable, like really comfortable. And I'm not gonna be awkward in my own house. I don't see why you should have the right or the privilege or that much authority over me to where I'm now shaking and feeling uncomfortable. I refuse. If you come to my house, you cannot make me feel uncomfortable. So we're just talking, and then slowly but surely he reveals to me that he's into me and that he's liked me for quite some time. So I'm just looking at him thinking, you've had all this time to tell me, but you never did. Why are you telling me this now? And I don't think this is a good idea, because I know who your ex is, I know the girl, and she tells me stuff about you even though I don't care and I don't want to know. So if we then decide to do something now, it's disrespectful to her. Like, I don't have any loyalties to her, I don't know her like that, I'm not G's with her like that, but it is disrespectful. Like, I wouldn't want to be telling a girl my problems with my ex to then hear that she shacked up with him after. Like, do you know, it's just principles and morals. Like, it's just disrespectful, and I don't feel comfortable doing this kind of thing. Like, I proper weighed it out in my head. Like, I proper weighed it out, and he's proper telling me like, oh, like how man them are trying to sweet talk me in my left ear like a little bird singing. You can't live your life thinking about other people. She's not my friend, but she's my acquaintance. So I told him like, okay, I need to think about, like, I actually need to think about this. And I came to the conclusion like, okay, cool, if we were to do something, at this point I had broken up with my ex, but I was like, okay, cool, if we were to do something, it would have to be on the low. It's not something that she can find out. If she finds out, it has to be from me, woman to woman, telling her about it. I have to tell her, I can't let her find out, because if she finds out, it's even worse, and I'm not that type of person. Like, I'm not that type of person. Like, I felt sick to my stomach, because I'd never done anything like this before in my life. And then my problem is I cared too much about other, like, I actually cared too much about other people, but in this situation I had every right to care about her because I know how she is. So I was like, yeah, she can't find out, I have to tell her. And he was like, okay, cool. So we're doing our little thing on the low, everything's going great, then he disappears. Like, he disappears. Tells his friend to let me know that he's gone and he'll come back, which is cool, but he disappears. So that was already strike one. Then he comes back, everything is cool. Heady One comes to perform, and the plan was for him to come back to mine after. At this point we hadn't done anything other than like lips and all that kind of, but we hadn't like smashed whatever. But he disappeared again. Strike two. So then comes back to mine later on that night. We're both drunk, things happen, cool. Then he disappears again for 2 weeks. Strike three. Don't hear from him. Then there's an apartment party. I see his friend there, one of his best friends. We're gonna call him John. So John is at the party, and I'm asking John like, oh, have you seen Ben anywhere? Like, I haven't heard from him. Josh is telling me, no, I haven't seen him. Like, I haven't seen him. Sometimes he does things that cause himself to basically trying to let me know I'm not gonna tell you, I don't know where he is. And at the time I was angry, but I get it. Like, you don't have loyalties to me, you have loyalties to your friend. So I had to respect that. Okay, you're doing what you think is right for your friend because he's your friend. I get that. He's telling me he hasn't seen Ben, but then 2 seconds later Ben comes and he's like, oh, like, you need to come to the living room, like, you need to come here. So I'm just looking at him like, oh, you didn't know where he was, but you came with him. If you're gonna lie to me, please make sure your lie is believable. Ben is looking at me like, oh, hey, trying to give me a hug, putting this. I'm thinking, no, stop right there. We're not doing this. I'm not going to talk to you right now. I'm going to talk to you later when I'm ready. Because how can you disappear for 2 weeks knowing what just happened, and then you're going to try to act like everything's cool, and I see you at an apartment party with hella girls doing God knows what, I don't know, and you didn't tell me you were coming. You're not about to come to me and try to act like you're my man all of a sudden. And plus, if we're trying to keep this thing on the low, why are you trying to do the most? Like, you're actually doing the most. So he storms out of the apartment. He storms out like one 5-year-old, and I'm still in the club. I'm angry at this point. Like, I'm very, very, very angry. After about like 20 minutes, that's when I decide to leave. Call my Uber, and I see him outside. He sees me, gets in the cab, drives out of the alleyway, stops, where I'm standing. Yeah, tells the cab driver to stop. He rolls down the window. He squints his eyes at me. Nigga, why are you squinting at 5:45 in the morning? It's really dark outside and it's cold, but you're squinting at me and it's raining. Squinting at me, yeah, taking a good look at me as well. Not even trying to offer, you want to get in my cab, like, let me make sure you get her. No, none of that, but you're squinting at me. You then roll up the window, pat the driver and tell him to go. So he did a full-on GTA drive-by on me. Like, he actually did a drive-by on me. So I'm just looking at him like, no, this can't be happening. This can't be happening. Like, I'm in some sort of movie. So you know them ones where you gotta blink and like tap your head a little bit and pray that when you wake up or when you open your eyes like it was a dream or you hallucinate. No, I didn't hallucinate. The car really drove off. Like, the car really went. So when I get home, I send him one kind of long paragraph basically explaining how I felt about the whole situation. I wrote it down in paragraph format. He read the message as well, didn't say anything, so it made me even more angry because it's like, you've done this to me and you're airing me as well. You are not in any type of position to be airing me. Like, you have no right to be angry at me. I have rights to be angry at you. He decides to message me back talking about how he wants to see me later and talk about it. So I'm thinking, no, there's nothing to talk about at this point. I wipe my hands clean. I don't want this, no. Then eventually he comes over. He's talking about how like he's sorry and how he wants to talk to me and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, yeah, no, this is done. Don't want anything to do with you. Like, this is actually done. I can't be out here being violated like this. So I was like, okay, cool. I need time to think. I love to think, apparently. I can't ever make a rational decision. I have to think about it first. That's my problem. I overthink things. Give him one more chance. Because I do. I'm not a one strike, you're out type of person. And so I have a mock exam at this point, yeah, editing mock exam, trying to do this exam. The exam is about to start in like 5 minutes or so, yeah. So I've set up the computer ready for my exam and I get a message from him on Snap. I give it a little bit of time to marinate. After like 10 minutes I open it and the Snap wasn't even from him, it was from Sondra. So Sondra got a hold of his phone, messaged me on his phone. So I'm just thinking, no, like, this is a misunderstanding somewhere. I'm definitely hallucinating. You couldn't even give me an hour, you couldn't give me a day, you couldn't give me a week. You chose today at this particular time where I've got an exam. You're sick. Like, you're actually sick, and that you're just sick. You want me to fail. God is greater than that, but you're sick. Yeah, so I literally said to him like, no, you're actually joking around with me. Like, it's not Sondra. You're fully joking around. Like, stop playing. Like, stop playing with me. Stop joking. Really wasn't joking. Sondra really sent me a video snap of her in his room. So I'm getting angry. Like, I'm getting very angry. I'm thinking to myself, what is going on? Why is she, like, I had a million questions in my head. Like, you know, when you have to do that maths calculation in your head, that's and a lot of head scratching. That's literally what I was doing. Like, and I've really got an exam in 5 minutes. So Sondra, long story short, is bashing me, arguing, insulting me, saying all these, talking about, oh, if you know where I live, pull up. Thinking, I know where you live, you're not gonna do anything. I don't believe girls should fight. Like, girls are too pretty to fight, you know. But I allowed her to say what she wanted to say. I allowed her to insult me. I allowed her to talk bad or act bad or whatever, because in my head I was thinking, right, if I say something to you on the phone, text messages can easily be misinterpreted. So if I'm going to talk to you, I'm going to talk to you in real life. I'm not going to do this little keyboard warrior behind the texting thing. That's number one. Number two, if I text you, you are going to be the girl who's going to be sympathized. You're going to be crying and everyone's going to be like, oh, poor Sondra, and I'm going to look like the vicious, wicked person. So I was never trying to do that. And third of all, I felt like because of what I did to you and like the way that I didn't go behind your back, but I didn't tell you, I deserve everything you're saying to me. Like, I took that in and I just said, you know what, I will never not admit when I did something wrong. I will never like not own up to when I did something wrong. I'll always tell you when I did something wrong. And not that I'll feel no way about it, but what's the point of lying? You know, what's the point of lying? What's the point of me trying to justify myself? I know it's wrong and I did it. There's nothing I can say to justify it. It is what it is. I'm gonna own up to my responsibility. I'm 20 years old. I'm not a 5-year-old kid that I'm gonna be like, well, it takes 2 to do this and it takes to do. Like, no. If you want to deal with him, you can deal with him. This is between me and you, and I am admitting what I did wasn't the best thing. Long story short, got off the phone with her, did my exam. I don't know how I passed, but I did. When I tell you God is good, God is good. Passed that thing. And then he called me on FaceTime. I ignored it the first time, but he called me back a second time, so I answer, and I'm just trying want to hear. At this point, I don't even want to speak. Like, I'm just listening to him. I'm very angry at this point. Listen to him, and he has the audacity to say to me, well, at least she knows now, so we don't have to be a secret anymore. I said, how inconsiderate can you be? How disgustingly inconsiderate can you be? So clearly you lack respect for her, and you show no remorse to me. You were in the room when she was saying these things to me, and you didn't defend me, not once. Bearing in mind, it takes 2 people to be in this kind of situation, and you really think I'm gonna continue? Are you sick? So I hang up now. Yeah, I listen to what he has to say. I hang up. At this point, I'm disgusted. Like, I have nothing to say to you. Like, I actually have nothing to say to you. Like, nothing you can say to me is going to make me feel any type of way. Nothing you can say to me is going to make me respect you. Nothing you can say to me is going to make me want you again, because I don't. So then he tries to flip the switch and do reverse psychology on me, to where it's like, oh, well, you're able to, you know, cut it off that quick. That means you never really cared to begin with. And I'm thinking, whoa, how are you telling me I didn't care? I definitely cared. I gave you like 4 strikes, 4 strikes, and each of them you failed, and you proved me right that you weren't right for me. And now that you've done something wrong, you're going to try to flip it on me. So basically the whole message behind this story time is, don't let somebody, if you know something isn't right, don't do it because of what somebody else is making you think, or because somebody else is hypnotizing or brainwashing you. Just don't. If you know it's not right, say no. Like, you have to think about it. Am I trying to get with you because of the physical aspect, or because of what is going on in here? Like, don't allow somebody to vindict you into thinking this is right. A lot of people are happy to start the mess, but when the mess starts, they're not going to speak to defend you. They're not going to stand up for you. They're not going to admit their side of the, you know, of being wrong. Like, they're just gonna leave you to have to deal with it. And it's like, why should I take full responsibility when it takes 2 people to make this kind of situation? So yeah, just watch out for people in life, and watch out for people in uni. Don't allow someone to treat you that way. If you noticed, like, from the beginning, especially in uni, if you notice at the very beginning that there's a problem, it's already a sign. God showed me so many signs, but I ignored it. So he was looking at me thinking, you're actually deaf. Like, I'm now gonna show you. You didn't listen to me, so I'm gonna show you one more time. And he did, and I saw it. Just be careful, basically. Yeah, just be careful, and don't do what I did, because you're like I still feel really bad and really guilty inside for what I did. And like, obviously you have to defend yourself, but what are you really defending? And the reason why I'm sharing this story time is not because I'm embarrassed, or like because people are going to think of me in a certain way, but I'm letting you guys know that people are out there doing this type of stuff, and they do not care. Like, I care about what I did, but some people actually don't care. Some people will go around living their lives doing this type of thing. And the thing is, I didn't break the 2 of those types of people up, because they were already done before I got there. So it's not like, oh, I'm the reason why it happened. And what's sad is that when he was talking to me, I came to realize later on that he was still talking to her. So he was selling us both dreams. So don't be a victim of this. Don't let someone do this to you and think that it's okay, because it's not okay. Like, your mum raised you better, and it's just not okay. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this little story time. If you did, give it a big thumbs up and comment and all that kind of stuff. And if you're new, once again, make sure that you guys are subscribed, and don't be caught up in this mess that I was in. Don't let somebody treat you this way. Yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Mwah. Bye.